Hey guys, just Britt here today. Brian is at work. It is currently summer and I don't have to work during the summertime, so I am trying to get ahead because it is currently July 20th and we are getting ready to go to Disney World in just, 3 days on Saturday? So I'm trying to get everything packed. I'm trying to get all the videos uploaded and scheduled to post so that you guys have content while we're gone. And we kind of reached this limbo. We're in between our April trip and we were, waiting until May, but it's almost been a year since we started vlogging. So we wanted a little bit in between because we've got something really special coming up for you on Monday, August 1st. Just wait for it. But today instead, we thought that we'd have a little sit down, just quick vlog, talk about 10 tips or 10 tricks to beat the heat at Disney World. So let's just jump right in. Number 1, the best way to beat the heat at Disney World is go to the unpopular attractions, the ones that pretty much will never have much of a wait, if any wait at all. You can get into them pretty quick. It's a great way to get off your feet, great way to get some air conditioning. Magic Kingdom, we really love the Carousel of Progress and Mickey's PhilharMagic. At Animal Kingdom, we really love It's Tough to Be a Bug. At Hollywood Studios, Frozen, the Frozen sing-along is great, or, well, pretty much any of those shows, but Beauty and the Beast and Indiana Jones don't have air conditioning, so that's why we chose the Frozen sing-along. And at Epcot, you can go to Ellen, which I know is not really a popular choice. Not a lot of people like Ellen, but I kind of think she gets a little bit too much hate because it's a 37-minute ride show thing, and you get off your feet and you're in AC. Sounds like a plan to me. All right, tip number 2. Everybody pretty much already knows that you can go to any quick service restaurant in Disney World and get a cup of water for free. But sometimes Brian and I notice that the quick service lines are pretty long and time is money at Disney World. So sometimes it's just not worth it to us to wait that long. So what we'll do is we'll go and find a place that sells water bottles, and they have ones that are the standard 20 ounce for Dasani, but they also have ones that are 48 ounces. Now the standard 20 ounce is $2.75, but the 48 ounce is $4. So if you can buy the 48 ounce water bottle and you have a way to store it, because I mean it's huge, so it's a lot of water, it's gonna be heavy. But if you have a way to store it, it's great. I mean, it's a great buy because it's not super expensive and you get a lot more of the product. So buy in bulk at Disney World. Tip number 3, we really like to wake up early and go to the parks early in the morning, especially if they have extra magic hours. Like it's their name or anything, but especially if they have extra magic hours or they just have an early opening, like 8 a.m. or if you get lucky and you go during a holiday week and they have the 7 a.m. extra magic hours, those are the best. But it's a great time to get a lot done. You can get so many rides in if you play your cards right and everything. Then we'll go back in the afternoons and come back at night when it's not quite so hot. So just, make use of the extreme hours, I guess. And then tip number 4 is to make use of the shops that are connected. So for example, if you are on Main Street, I mean, you might as well just, go into the shop and walk through the air conditioning all the way down, which works really great too if there's like a parade or something going on. Just hop into the shops and you'll avoid most of it, and you get to be in the AC in Florida, which is great because it's like so hot there. All right, number 5. Tip number 5, you can bring a water bottle from home, which we frequently do. We are big lovers of the Brita ones with the filter on it, or anything made by Contigo are pretty much our favorite water bottle brands. But you can fill it up with ice before you leave the hotel in the morning and drink it as the water melts, or you can put it into your freezer in your resort hotel room and drink it as the ice melts that way. So just a little tip trick. It also will help keep like a sandwich cold or something if you bring a lunch like we frequently do. Use your water bottle as an ice pack. Right, number 6. Make use of fast passes for rides that have an outdoor queue in the afternoon, such as at Magic Kingdom, there's Haunted Mansion and Splash Mountain would be really good use of your fast pass because they aren't lines that are in an air-conditioned queue, because in the afternoon I would much prefer to stand in an air-conditioned queue versus a non-air-conditioned queue. Like, I would rather use a fast pass for Haunted Mansion And if Peter Pan had like a reasonable wait, by reasonable I mean like 45 minutes or under, I would much rather wait in that queue because it is air conditioned and there's a lot of really great stuff to look at, whereas Haunted Mansion is not air conditioned and doesn't have as much great stuff to look at. Some other great uses of a Fast Pass outdoor would be for Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom. It's mostly outdoor, but at Animal Kingdom pretty much everything is outdoor, so it gets a little bit tricky there. But Expedition Everest has a good bit of the line in the sunlight, especially if you're doing single rider. Ooh. So, Spaceship Earth at Epcot would be a great use of it because in the afternoons the queue gets really like filled, so you're not actually underneath Spaceship Earth. So, you know, you're like standing in direct sunlight, which can be a little bit tricky. So at Hollywood Studios, Tower of Terror or Rock and Roller Coaster would probably be a pretty good use of Fast Pass because they're kind of half and half. I mean, some of it's inside, some of it's not. So, I don't know. And you can also apply this to when you are meeting characters outside. Some meet and greets are inside and some are not. So kind of, you know, keep that in mind. Plan to do the outside meet and greets earlier in the day or later in the evening time. But a lot of character meet and greets cut off pretty early, so I would check your time. So probably doing them in the morning would be best. But tip number 7, don't do World Showcase in the afternoon. Save it for the evening because it is so hot. Brian and I swear that Epcot is the hottest park. And I know a lot of people say it's Animal Kingdom, but I think Animal Kingdom has a lot of shade. And in the World Showcase, you are just out there and you are in the sun and it can be miserable. We made this mistake on our honeymoon whenever we went in April 2015, and I think that's a big part of the reason why Epcot is not one of our favorites, because we felt so miserable when we were there. So save it for the evening time, it'll be much cooler. Tip number 8. This one kind of goes more along with the water parks, which of course, I mean, what a stupid tip. Hey, if you're hot, go to the water parks. It'd be a great use of, you know, cooling off. But if you're gonna go to the water parks, my favorite attraction for cooling off is Shark Reef, because the water is kept super cold for the fish that that are in that attraction. Okay, so tip number 9, take the monorail to and from the TTC or Magic Kingdom because it has air conditioning and the ferry boat does not, and it can get really hot if you're standing in the sun. Or even better, if there's a bus available, take that because it's air conditioned and it takes less time. And finally, drumroll, tip number 10. Okay, so if you're going to be eating at quick service restaurants, which we frequently do, there are some quick service restaurants that have air conditioning, and those are a great way to beat the heat because you get to sit in the air conditioning and you don't have to be outside and you get to eat your food. So yeah, these restaurants would be including, but not limited to, Cosmic Rays at Magic Kingdom is our pick. Restaurantosaurus at Animal Kingdom is a great place to go when you're trying to beat the heat. La Cantina in Epcot would be a great place to go to because there is indoor seating. You have to go straight, go to the left. Okay, so it's there, but it's kind of hard to find it. It'll look like there's only outdoor seating, but there's not. And if there's not anything available, you can always go to the Land, which is a great pavilion in Epcot and holds my favorite ride at Epcot, Soarin'. And at Hollywood Studios, a great quick service restaurant to go to for air conditioning is the ABC Commissary. So, and of course, if you're like us, sometimes it's really nice to go back to your resort and go to the food court instead, which I think, to my knowledge, every food court is air conditioned at the resorts, but I have not gone to them all, so I don't know. But anyway, we'll have one more sit-down vlog for you on Friday. We're going to talk about best ways to make use of the dining plan and how to make it worth it. So look for that on Friday, but until then,